Good morning. We will present a multiplex fever diagnostic for febrile illness that are difficult to diagnose and manage. The core team of this project is Ethan Guillen, Terry Roberts, and Oscar Bernal, but this project has had the participation of experts and field staff in MSF and other stakeholders outside MSF like WHO FANG. Introduction: fever is the most common problem in the low-income, middle-income countries, is the most common cause of mortality among patient hospitals, and around in MSF settings, around more than 178,000 patients every year have a diagnosis with fever that is unclear what is the cause. MSF is using more syndromic approach, and the goal is to go for more etiological approach to understand better the cause of the fever. What we expect is a potential solution: create a multiplex diagnostic platform that tests for biomarkers to identify between or differentiate between bacterial and no bacterial, detect causes, specific pathogens for fever, and assess antibiotic susceptibility. Plus, this MFD has to be affordable, robust, and open source that allow to improve and permanently change. Projects underway. There are different projects focused on fever. Some of them are specific, working on RDTs to differentiate between bacterial and no bacterial, or to look at the severity or look at some specific pathogens. There is a mini lab that is looking to simplify the blood culture, and it is MFD with 6 work streams to complete the preparation phase. Existing already some initiative. One is from MSF in e-care and improving or using almanac more at the hospital level. MSF FIND is working at TPP for differentiate between bacterial and no bacterial. OGBA with the University of Toronto is looking for severity markers, and there are projects funded by NIH, EU, focus on antimicrobial resistance. We review more than 440 companies with different projects and prototypes. Among them, 20 have similarity what we expect, but any of them has the same requirement that we are looking for MSF settings. The methods: we are developing a feasibility study examining the patient needs, the changes that the tool will create in the clinical management of patients, the potential funding, technical requirement, and the regulatory requirement. The target product profile, TPP, is a process developed between MSF, FIND, with the participation of WHO, and we are interviewing different diagnostic companies to involve in this project. Ethics: this innovation project did not involve human participation or their individual data. We are presenting all the different components and frameworks to the MSF ethical committees. Results: the MFD Multiplex fever diagnostics, TPP, well, until the moment, the draft presented today is intended use is the detection and identification of priority pathogens, ability to differentiate between bacterial and non-bacterial infections, and support the diagnostics and the management of undifferentiated febrile illness with sign of severity at the hospitals in MSF. The target use settings: a minimum will be MSF referral facilities that have a functional laboratory, trained personnel, water, electricity, and limited climate control. The target population is all patients, including adults and children, HIV positive patients, malnourished children. The MFD system will combine different techniques, molecular and serological, to detect nucleic acid, biomarkers, and antigens. The first list of pathogens was developed using the consultation inside MSF and with experts in FIND, and we will continue this process. The pathogens we look was with the high prevalence, high mortality, like Salmonella or Staphylococcus, and others like Lassa fever is in some way an exception in this list, but is very often a difficult to diagnose fever for the reason we included in this list. Result, the funding structure, the development of multiplex fever diagnostics will cost approximately $100 million. We don't expect that MSF invests this amount of money. The initial investment from MSF is $2 million. That include the proof of concept and to develop all the elements that are key to understand the management at MSF of fever, especially at the hospitals in MSF, and to define a TPP and define the priority of list of pathogens that are a priority for MSF. Then the prototype and the last phase will be a regulatory approval and a field validation. This is the most costly part of this project, but we expect to involve other stakeholders, other organizations who pay for this process, and MSF will be only one of the partners in the development of MFD. Conclusion, a program to develop MFD is feasible. A convincing business case for the project that meets MSF needs has been created, and a partnership with outside organizations are essential, and already we have different organizations involved in this process. The next steps will be via WHO consensus process. We develop or finalize the TPP, including need to detect antibiotic resistance, prioritization of pathogens that cause difficult to diagnose, not specific febrile illness at the hospital level. A menu test cartridge is needed because the different contexts or different populations, and define how MFD will change the clinical practice and improve patient care. And when we have all this information, MSF has to take a final decision on moving forward with full program or not, but we believe this initial step is already a good information for MSF and can improve the diagnostics of patients at the hospital level with fever and differentiated fever. Acknowledgement to different organizations involved in this project, including Access Campaign that is present and working in this project, Epicenter, who are developing different streams in the different components of this project. DNDi has another important partner, FIND, Halter Associates, Accenture, etc. WHO are partners of this program, and we will need all more partners to finalize all this process. Thank you very much.